Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yah, giving thanks and glory to the Most High, Yah, for sending his Messiah to die for his people and the Ruach, the Comforter. So tonight, we're going to talk about, is it a sin? Is it a sin to marry outside Israel? Will that have some effect in the wilderness? What y'all think in the chat? Is it a sin to marry outside of Israel? Will that have some effect when we get in the wilderness? Shalom, shalom, Brother Eric.
Hey, what's going on? Shalom, Brother Kadar.
Talking about, is it a sin according to the scriptures? We're gonna look at Ezra's 10. I'm gonna play a little video, read it through. We're gonna stop. We're gonna bring scriptures with us. We're gonna see why did Ezra do what he did in Ezra 10. Because remember, we was coming out of Babylonian captivity. So in the captivity we coming out of now, we know we scattered abroad. There's gonna be cases where we're gonna have to do what the Most High tells us to do according to the law. So, we got this one guy, he said Ezra was wrong for what he did in Ezra 10 when he got rid of the strange wives and the kids. So we're going to read through that. Well, I'm going to play a video where it's already reading. The reason I'm doing this because a lot of these names that comes up, I want to make sure that we heard that, every last one of names correctly, because I don't want to read through all the names. So I'm going to play a video, but that's at the last part of it. So what's on your mind, Brother Eric? Is it sin to marry outside of Israel? Is that sin period? After of course, that you are Israelite and you choose to do that.
I want to first and foremost give our praise to the Most High, the Elohim of Israel. And I want to say shalom to all my brothers and sisters in the chat. Hope all is well. And I'm glad to be in the fellowship as always. As far as the question, is it a sin? I think when we look at what sin is, we know that it's transgression of the law. And so when we read our law and when we examine our Constitution, we see that there are restrictions on who we are to marry, and this is given the understanding of the law being established and everything. A lot of our forefathers, before we became a nation, they got with women of other nations and had children and so forth and so on. So that's sort of used as a means to justify it. But if we're talking about, keeping the law and the tenets of the law, that's one of the things that we have to highlight. And when we look at, the restriction or the standard about the inheritance, and I don't want to spoil nothing, but as far as the inheritance go, we know that the standard is to marry within your tribe, so that your inheritance will stay within your tribe and within your land and within your lineage. And so, if we just to simply factor anything outside of that, that would indicate going against this or going outside of this. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting subject, as always, one to get into a lot of nuance to consider. But all that being said, when the Most High gave us his law, gave Israel his law, that was one of the things he put in place for us to stay amongst one another, stay within ourselves.
A lot of times when we talk about sin, of course, we bring up fornication, We bring up adulteries. We bring up eating pork, shrimp, lobster. We bring up idolatry. We bring up, even some people bring up the Sabbath. We bring up so many other sins, but this sin somehow we don't talk about. And I think that, a lot of brothers and sisters are scared to bring this subject up because before they knew who they was, they in a certain position. But it's okay. Now, I ain't the all judge, and what I say is, it's all right. But we know that the Most High is. So when we look at the book of Ezra and what he did, he had to do something. Can you imagine separating families? Basically, what happened? But he had to do it according to the law. Now, can you imagine if Ezra operated the same way what Saul did in the book of Samuel when he didn't kill the babies, when the Most High told him to do it? So when we get to Ezra, all this other stuff that people bring up, like, what's a King Solomon had many wives and he had kid by a Canaanite or whatever, And look at David. He had another kid by, they bring up all this where Ezra said, guess what? We're going to set this straight. So all that other stuff, because they did it, don't make it okay for you to do it. And that's what Ezra was setting. He was setting the ground here. And it kind of reminds me of one of my favorite king Israel, King Hezekiah. I know people pick David or they pick Solomon, but King Hezekiah, what did he do? He tore down all them fake gods. And so he's setting the record straight. And that's one thing Ezra did as in the priesthood of the Levites. He was setting the record straight. So we're not going to do this no more. So anybody come up on talking about, well, this person did this back then, well, okay. When you get to Ezra said, no more. And he said it straight. Before I go on, let's greet the chat, because the chat is coming in. I want to greet them right quick. And but Brother Eric, I don't even know if you, when you was talking, I was looking at the book of Tobit, and everything you said matches in the book of Tobit. Wow. That's how much. That's what, when people say, I got the Holy Ghost and blah, blah, this is what the Ruach do. The Ruach, I'm sorry. It brings you to remembrance of the scriptures, even when you're not even talking about the scripture. I'm sitting here looking at Tobit, and everything you said matches what Tobit said. Wow.
Amen.
Wow. That's unreal. So go ahead. Jason Philip McCopley, shalom, shalom. Wisdom of Solomon, the offerings are cursed. Wherefore, blessed is the burden that is undefiled, which has not known sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls. So that's a really good verse right here. I'm glad you brought that out right there. This is coming from the Wisdom of Solomon. And, a lot of guys that's in account use Solomon for a rebound to do what they want to do. Wow. That's a good verse. Shalom, praise him. Essential growth. Leviticus. You shall keep my statutes. That shall not let the cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow the field with a mingled seed. Neither shall the garment mingle of linen, woolen come upon thee. Now, you got people out here that's in the camp. There says no such thing as a mixed seed. Right here, and man, I tell you, man, that's what I'm saying. These chats be bringing it. Leviticus 19 tells us, thank you, Essential Growth, that you can't even mingle a seed or a mixed garment. You see this? But you got people in the camp saying there's no such thing as mixed. Boy, it's crazy right here. So, born bold, the born truth. Shalom, 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 sister. Soy, shalom, brother. I'm gonna probably put the link in the chat. Shalom, shalom. So I want you to come in, so because I know you got some stuff. Shalom, brother Donnell Blackshield. Shalom, shalom. Yana Coda, I know you got some stuff over there. I'll put the link in the chat now. Yeah, we're gonna play this video because I took that subscription off mine, so I don't know how many, because I could never work how to get 10 people on at one time, so I just took it back off. I was aggravated. Shalom, shalom, brother. Ayana, shalom, shalom. Observer deprogrammer, shalom, shalom. See what else do we have here? Oh, look at this. Brother Najee, shalom, shalom. Link in the chat. You want to come in now, Brother Najee? Shalom, shalom, brother. So, Micaiah, Yashara, shalom, shalom. G. Bronny, I know you got something you're going to bring out on this. Shalom, shalom, Sister Sonny. Shalom, she Ibri, Yah. Hey, she is a Levite priesthood wife. Y'all remember that. That's Ibri. All right. So look, now I'm gonna go to Tobit right quick, Ibri. If anything you want to bring out about this off the top, I'm gonna go to Tobit. Tobit 4, right? Now, he's given instructions here. 4 and 12 says, beware of whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of a seed of their fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, nor Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, remember, my son, that our father from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, were blessed in the children, and the seed shall inherit the land. Just like Brother Eric was talking about, our inheritance here. So when we go outside of this law about us staying with our tribe, even with our tribe, we are defiling that. We are committing a sin. And this is something we don't talk about. This stuff is serious. You know, brothers and sisters want to come up with all these different excuses. Now, y'all, I'm gonna say this. It's easy for me to say because I don't have that. Lust as in going after strange wives. So it wouldn't be easy for me to say, but I am reading out the scriptures, y'all. So I want to be fair. So I was trying to get this sister to come on that's in a relationship like that, but she do speaks the truth. And I think it would even seem even better somebody that's in that type of relationship before they found out there was Israel that would come on but speak the truth about the issue. And I wish I could have got her on, but you know, she never hit me back. She said she was because her husband is a Edomite. So it would have been pretty good, but she didn't, hit me back, so I didn't want to keep pressuring her on that. Shalom, shalom, brother Josiah.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, brothers?
What's going on? Shalom, bro.
Ain't nothing.
So we talking about, is it sin to marry outside Israel? Will this have some type of effect on us in the wilderness? Would it have an effect on us? I mean, could it cause us to be purged out? I believe again. I don't want to manipulate you, Josiah. You your own man. So think about that.
Oh, definitely gonna get us kicked out the wilderness, man. The scriptures say, "Thou shalt not make no covenants with them. Thou shalt not make no marriages with them." And people say that's talking about the 7 nations that was listed in that, but it was actually talking about all Gentile when you read Jubilee.
Yeah, I think Jason Phillip already on it, y'all. You see this? So before we go to this video, this reading right here, do y'all want to bring out some scriptures before we go there? Or you want to go there first then?
Yeah, you go there first.
How about you, brother?
Yeah, you got it.
All right, I'm going to go over here. Here we go.
Ezra was praying, and while he was confessing, weeping, and bowing down before the house of God, a very large assembly of men, women, and children gathered to him from Israel. For the people wept very bitterly. And Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, spoke up and said to Ezra,
"We have trespassed against our God, and have taken pagan wives from the peoples of the land. Yet now there is hope in Israel in spite of this. Now therefore, let us make a covenant with our God to put away all these wives and those who have been born to them, according to the advice of my master, and of those who tremble at the commandment of our God, and let it be done according to the law. Arise, for this matter is your responsibility."
Now, of course, I know y'all know the reading, but you heard the part right here said, let it be done according to the law, right? So some brothers have this one brother, I go say some, have a problem with that. He'll say, what is the law on that? Now, what is the law on that? Number one, he says we have sinned against the Most High, right? How did we commit sin? How did they commit sin? How did the Levites, what was they doing to commit sin? They took strange wives, right?
Yeah.
So he said we committed sin according to the law. What do y'all think it's talking about before we go on?
Well, it's talking about marrying strange women. Because the next verse says, "and marrying strange wives."
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is a sin. Do y'all heard people talk about this sin much? I don't.
Not really. I mean, maybe in certain contexts, but not really.
I heard white people talk about it, but I think they do it in the preacher's way, the preachers.
I'll tell you what they do. They be worried about stuff that you can't read, like Sabbath days, feast days, and they leave out the strange wives and stuff like that. A lot of them camp guys do that.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to ask you something. Now, if the camp guys believe, we know that's not true, but if they believe these Hispanics and all these people in Israel, right, why they don't talk about marrying strange wives? Why they try to make it justified when it comes to that? This is why I know what they know and what we know, what they saying, they lying on purpose, because if they actually believe these people are true Israelites, why would they have a fight in the gang about marrying strange wives? I heard them say plenty of times, oh, what's his name? Guerrilla Hebrew. Oh, we can marry anybody. What'd he say?
But not too long ago, I did a video where this lady was talking about the history of white people in America, how a lot of them came from poverty in Europe, and that's where you get your quote unquote white trash and all that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, she wrote a book titled White Trash.
Wow. But
she talked about in that video how the key aspect to wealth and class, being in the upper class, was land ownership, and how land ownership was the key to wealth. Not only that, marrying within your own people maintains your wealth. So even other races of people understand that, and you hear oftentimes how the Jews and the higher ups marry within themselves. I don't know if that's more so incestual, you know what I mean? More than likely it is, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Most High is trying to maintain the inheritance between his people. And so even outside of our heritage, you see that other people understand that concept.
Wow. And it comes to us, so somehow we come up with every excuses in the world, but everybody else, I mean, come on, Whew, even with this, what's going on in Israel, even prove that we more, which we don't need no more proof, but I'm just saying, ain't that something, y'all? What Brother Eric just said, but when it comes to us, we'll say it doesn't matter.
The fake Jewish people, they keep in their family so much, they marry they sisters.
Wow. Let's play a little bit more.
Responsibility. We also are with you. Be of good courage and do it.
Then Ezra arose and made the leaders of the priests, the Levites, and all Israel swear an oath that they would do according to this word. So they swore an oath. Then Ezra rose up from before the house of God and went into the chamber of Jehohanan, the son of Eliashib. And when he came there, he ate no bread and drank no water, for he mourned because of the guilt of those from the captivity. And they issued a
Now, hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
What the word I don't did? Can y'all, this thing spinning. I just went to something else. Let me go back. So, Ezra, right?
For the people wept very bitterly. And Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel.
Okay, Ezra, it says that he didn't drink no water, right? In verse 5. And at the end of verse 5, it said, because of the guilt of those from the captivity. So we know they knew who they were. So in other words, they know they shouldn't have been doing this. Now, we don't have a lot of us know who we are. Now, we can't just get with these people and all of a sudden make them, well, possibility they might be Israelite. A lot of that's going on in Israel, you know. They get with these Puerto Ricans, these Hispanics, and say, well, you know, they might be Israelites. No, you can't do that. You can't make a person become an Israelite because your lust of that person or of that type of woman or that type of man. And I think a lot of that is going on in Israel. This is why you see camp guys and brothers that's not in the camp trying to make Hispanics, white Hispanics, not the Afro Hispanics, Israelites, because they want the women or they want the men. This is something that's very popular in Israel today. This is something when they know who they are and they still doing this. Not when you didn't know who you are. I'm just praise the Most High that I didn't go that route. I didn't have a lust for that when I didn't know who I was. I just wanted to stick with black, so-called black people, black women. Now, when you know who you are and you doing this, this is why the agenda come in play. You'll go hard. You'll try to make up every. I tell you what. We had a brother today. I ain't gonna even say who he is. He said some stuff made you so it would make you cry laughing, or make you feel like this guy's crazy. It's you can see the agenda whenever you pin them in a corner on this subject. You'll see the agenda. They would go and say stuff. This brother said that Israel left the northern kingdom, the whole Atlantic Ocean parted, and they walked through on dry ground. That's exactly what he said. Just because he want to keep what he got and try to make that an Israelite. This is the guilt they have. Instead of doing like Ezra and them did, cried, repent, and got rid of them, they want to keep them. And so they keep going to the point to say, you are who your father is. But Ezra 10 is going to clear that you are who your father is up. Y'all got anything you want to say about this before I go on? I think I need to fast forward up. Somehow I messed up.
Yeah, it's definitely an agenda. And, I always, every time we talk about this, I always mention the agenda and the depths of it, because when you look at biblically, one of the ways our people was destroyed was to cause them to lust after the women of the other nations. And so when you look at society today, you see a lot of that being pushed. And when you talk about inheritance, you know, they want the best of our best, you know, to mingle with what they have going on. So you'll have a brother who's prominent, may attain some level of wealth or riches, and he'll get with a woman of another race. They'll divorce, you know, or he may have a couple of children with her, and they'll divorce, and now she's tied to that wealth. You know what I mean? And it can even be the other way around too. You know what I mean? So it's something that they promote, and it's something that, because of our lack of respect and love for each other as black men and black women, we fall for it. You know, more so our sisters, because, you know, they aiming it at us, just like the devil attacked Eve to get at Adam. You know, that's the basic foundation of what we dealing with. The Most High made Adam in his image. We are bloodline descendants of Adam, because due to Luke 3rd chapter, and they trying to cut us off, and this is one of the ways that they do it.
And you know, I would love, you know, I would say I would love, but anybody that have a debate in this game, please bring it on, because it's no way in the world you gonna win this debate. It's almost,
No, because it's all over the scriptures.
yeah, it's almost like did the Messiah come and die for Israel? Why would you debate that? You're a Christian, you might try to debate it, but I'm talking about within Israel when you know the scriptures. It's something that's hard to debate, brother Josiah. Can you see a person trying to debate that, right? With the evidence we have all over the scriptures, you got to be crazy to try to debate this. But you have some to try.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see them come my way and try to debate this. Let me see. Let me bring this back up. Okay.
I mean, it's so many ways to come at this without even getting biblical.
Yep.
You know, it's a common thing.
Black people hang with black people. Mexicans hang with Mexicans. That's how simple it is.
Let me put this back up, okay? I think I was about right here. Let me see.
The law. Arise, for this matter is your responsibility. We also are with you. Be of good courage and do to them, according to the advice of my master, and of those who make a covenant with our God to put away all these wives and those who have been born to them, according to the advice of my master, and of those who tremble at the commandment of our God, and let it be done according to the law. Arise, for this matter is your responsibility. We also are with you. Be of good courage and do it.
Then Ezra arose and made the leaders of the priests, the Levites, and all Israel swear an oath that they would do according to this word. So they swore an oath. Then Ezra rose up from before the house of God and went into the chamber of Jehohanan, the son of Eliashib. And when he came there, he ate no bread and drank no water, for he mourned because of the guilt of those from the captivity. And they issued a proclamation throughout Judah and Jerusalem to all the descendants of the captivity, that they must gather at Jerusalem, and that whoever would not come within 3 days, according to the instructions of the leaders and elders, all his property would be confiscated.
Okay, did y'all hear that? You read it?
Yeah.
All of Israel, right? You don't come, what's going to happen to your property?
Forfeited.
So, the camp guys are trying to say, oh, it was just a certain assembly. Now, what would the descendants of what? Captivity. All of Israel. I just want to bring that point out because this is stuff they run to. Oh, it was just a few, people, or just a small congregation. No. We're gonna see what's gonna happen to that land. Y'all got something y'all want to say about that? This is some serious stuff, y'all. Serious.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that level of reasoning, though. To say, even if this was the case, right? If he was only speaking to a certain group, maybe it's because that only group was present. It don't mean that it doesn't apply to everybody else. That's like a kid's level of reasoning, trying to reason your way out of something. Because all the other kids doing it, you feel like you should be able to do it.
That sound familiar, don't it, Kadar?
Yeah, and that's what
He said it sound like a kid. Exactly.
Because that's exactly what they do.
Yep.
What about Ruth? It's stupid because they'll run to certain parts of the Bible to justify what they doing. You don't do that. I've seen messages Brother Eric brought out about the men cut me to the heart. I'm not gonna run to no scriptures try to justify what he brought out that was cutting me. I'm gonna take that like a man and hey, turn from it. And this is the stuff that these camp guys and these brothers that's in this don't want to do. They don't want to turn from it. And they talking about when you get to the wilderness, well, how are you gonna make it through the wilderness if you don't want to turn from what you're doing and trying to justify that it's okay? You're not gonna make it. And that's what you don't do when you read something out of the Bible, out of the scriptures, and it's cutting you. You don't need to get mad at nobody. You better pray and ask the Most High to help you. That's what you need to do instead of getting mad, upset, and try to debate this. It's not up for debate. You can debate it, but you're going to be wrong. So that's what these brothers, a lot of them do. So, Josiah, you got something you want to say?
Nope.
All right, pray a little more. This is going to get good, y'all, especially when you'll say, I should have read all of this myself, but I was driving down the road when I was working, and I sit there and listen to a couple of these today, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty good.
And he himself would be separated from the assembly of those from the captivity. So all the men of Judah and Benjamin gathered at Jerusalem within 3 days. It was the 9th month, on the 20th of the month, and all the people sat in the open square of the house of God, trembling because of this matter, and because of heavy rain. Then Ezra the priest stood up and said to them,
You have transgressed and have taken pagan wives, adding to the guilt of Israel. Now, therefore, make confession to the Lord God of your fathers, and do his will. Separate yourselves from the peoples of the land, and from the pagan wives.
Then all the assembly answered and said with a loud voice,
Yes, as you have said, so we must do.
But there are many people. It is the season for heavy rain, and we are not able to stand outside. Nor is this the work of 1 or 2 days, for there are many of us who have transgressed in this matter. Please, let the leaders of our entire assembly stand, and let all those in our cities who have taken pagan wives come at appointed times, together with the elders and judges of their cities, until the fierce wrath of our God is turned away from us in this matter.
Only Jonathan, the son of Asahel, and Jehaziah, the son of Tikva, opposed this, and Meshullam and Shabbathai the Levite gave them support.
Hold up. We got camp guys there. You see that? Who opposed that, y'all?
He said they got countdown up there.
Sakar and IUIC up in there, man.
They stood up and opposed it, huh? Oh, wow. Hold
on. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's...
See that? That's crazy.
I agree, with that.
I
think it's different, for people who, well, I ain't gonna say it's different, but it's a different situation with people who didn't know, but it's different from people who try to justify it,
Mm-hmm.
So whenever this need to be read through, the count guys to try to say it was just a certain assembly. Look who we got. Them, we got two try to oppose it, y'all. Is Dia Ascendus Sakari and IUIC? I'm joking, but we got some trying to oppose it. Ain't that something? Even back then. So
you got heathen lovers back then, huh?
Even back then, we got people that's in Israel, just like today, trying to oppose it. Now, watch when they get to verse 16. This is very important to these guys that keep saying, "You are who your father is." This is very important. Watch this, y'all.
Then the descendants of the captivity did so, and Ezra the priest, with certain heads of the fathers' households, were set apart by the fathers' households, each of them by name, and they sat down on the first day of the 10th month to examine the matter. By the first day of...
Hold up. They were set apart by the father's household, each by name? Y'all heard that?
Yep.
So so if it was you are who your father is outside of Israel, why did they have to do that then? I mean, why would they have to get rid of the strange wives if you are who your father is, in other words, you can go marry anybody and have a kid by them. You are your father. This is within Israel, within the Levite tribe. And this right here is completely cut because people that say that they're getting rid of the strange wives and the kids, and they get rid of examine that. That's what they get rid of do. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy right here. This is something that they come up with this lie all the time with that. You are who your father. Israel just go mess with anybody. I forget they're Israelite. So they skip Deuteronomy chapter 23. We're gonna go there tonight.
Day of the first month, they finished questioning all the men who had taken pagan wives. And among the sons of the priests who had taken pagan wives, the following were found of the sons of Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, and his brothers: Maaseiah, Eleazar, Jarib, and Gedaliah. And they gave their promise that they would put away their wives. And being guilty, they presented a ram of the flock as their trespass offering. Also of the sons of Immer, Hanani, and Zebediah. Of the sons of Harim, Maaseiah, Elijah, Shemaiah, Jehiel, and Uzziah. Of the sons of Pasha, Elioenai, Maaseiah, Ishmael, Nethanel, Jazabad, and Elisah. Also of the Levites, Jazabad, Shimei, Kiliah, the same as Kelita, Pethahiah, Judah, and Eliezer. Also of the singers, Eliashib, and of the gatekeepers, Shallum, Telem, and Uri. And others of Israel, of the sons of Perush, Ramiah, Jeziah, Malchiah, Mijamin, Eleazar, Malchijah, and Benaiah. Of the sons of Elam, Mattaniah, Zechariah, Jehiel, Abdi, Jeremoth, and Eliah. Of the sons of Zatu, Elioenai, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Jeremoth, Zabad, and Aziza. Of the sons of Bebai, Jehohanan, Hananiah, Zabbai, and Athli. Of the sons of Bani, Meshullam, Malach, Adiah, Jashub, Sheol, and Ramoth. Of the sons of Pahath-Moab, Adnah, Kelal, Benaiah, Maaseiah, Mattaniah, Bezalel, Binnui, and Manasseh. Of the sons of Harim, Eleazar, Ishijah, Malchijah, Shemaiah, Shimeon, Benjamin, Malach, and Shemariah. Of the sons of Hashem, Mattani, Mattata, Zabad, Eliphalet, Jeremiah, Manasseh, and Shimei. Of the sons of Bani, Maadai, Amram, Uel, Benaiah, Bediah, Kelek, Benaiah, Meramoth, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Mattani, Jaasai, Bani, Binnui, Shimei, Shelemiah, Nathan, Adiah, Machnadibai, Sheshai, Sherai, Azarel, Shelemiah, Shemariah, Shalom, Amariah, and Joseph. Of the sons of Nebo, Jeiel, Mattathiah, Zabad, Zebina, Jaddai, Joel, and Benaiah. All these had taken pagan wives, and some of them had wives by whom they had children.
All right. So you see all of these people. Now, don't that remind us of us? Except they knew who they were. A lot of them took pagan wives, y'all. Israel have a fetish for pagan wives. It just hey, the sister of Zion's in that. And Ezra's 10, Sister Zion look like they did pretty good. What y'all say? They didn't say nothing about them. Brother Eric, we messed up, did we?
What's that?
And Ezra's 10 looked like the Sister Zion didn't mess up right there. Looked like it was all the men. Wow.
Yeah, well, if all the men gone in another direction, that must have been a lot of women were single.
Yeah, it almost seemed like today.
Yeah.
But you know what? But I like that because it proves that if the Levites, right? The reason it says the Levites are reckoned by the household of their fathers. Remember, we was in captivity. So I'm pretty sure we married a different tribe of our own people. So it's showing us that the Levites was recognized by the fathers within Israel, not outside of Israel. If it was, it wouldn't be no need for Ezra to get rid of strange wives and half-breed kids. So that brings to the point of going to I read Tobit. Now, when we get in the wilderness, right? What is one of the things a lot of stuff we're gonna have to give up. We know we're gonna have to give up pork, shrimp, and lobster, especially that pork. So we know now when we get in the wilderness, these brothers are gonna have to get up these strange wives. It's gonna be rough, y'all. It's gonna be rough. And I would hate to be in that situation. I'm not gonna be in that situation. Y'all, if y'all find me in that situation, pray for me. I don't want to be in that situation. Oh,
We'll go back to what Christ said.
Oh yeah, what did he say? What verse is that?
I think I'm gonna go to it right now. Give me a second.
So when Ezra and them did that, they was coming out of captivity, just like now. But I think they knew. I knew they knew who they were. We know who we are now. But some of these brothers are making excuses up to say, "Oh, it's okay for us to take these women, strange wives, just like they did upon war." That could be anything. I guess if they was in a U.S. Army war and they defeated a country, I guess they taking it in that way. I don't think it's talking about that, but you know.
But you know what, man? I gotta keep it real, man.
Yeah.
And I look at things from a holistic point of view.
Mm-hmm.
We read all of names of men who went outside of Israelite women. And when you see that, whenever you see something in mass, right, you gotta ask what's the real purpose of that?
Wow.
We can say it's because of lust, and that could be a key factor. But it said that these men took wives, right? They married these women. They didn't, like nowadays, you might see a lot of brothers go outside of our own women,
Yeah.
For the purpose of fulfilling lust. But then when you talk to some brothers that's with other women of other races, and you ask them, hey man, what made you want to go outside of your race? One of the things you'll hear them say is that they would have preferred a sister. But then they start naming other things. And once again, I'm not justifying it because I'm not in that situation. But I'm saying let's understand it. We can point the fingers at the brothers and the sisters that's doing it and say it's sin, yeah, but let's understand why. And once we understand why, that should turn us back to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's keeping us from being attracted to one another as black men and black women. And we have to address that, whatever it is. Whatever the men are saying that's causing them to go elsewhere, the sisters have to be receptive to that. And the same thing with the men. We have to be understanding and know that this is the root of what's going on. You know what I mean? But that's where I come from with it.
But that's a good point, because if we come together and understand that, it could stop. We can recognize that and really come together as a collective group to start to love one another more. Because right now the war is the black man, the black woman, or the Israelite man, the Israelite woman. That's the war that's going on.
Yeah, but they're using our women as a weapon towards us because they scared to fight us head up.
Yeah, it's true. They've been doing that before we was even born. I mean,
I know.
they taking the man out of the household. They saying we'll give you a check. Is what they call that? Wick. They give you a wick, right?
You know what I think though? I think a lot of women bought into that.
Yeah,
so we need our sisters to start buying into the system and start loving us. You know what I'm saying? Take care of them kids, man. You don't need to be working. That's what they want you to do. They want you to go out there and work so you can mess your family up. So they made society where like they need two parents to be working.
Yeah.
When, you know what I'm saying? They make it like that so they destroy our families.
So yeah, because you got to go out here and just like it was 7 of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my mother went to school to be a school teacher, but she never got to operate as that, right? She did end up doing work, like a little work, but for the most part, my father did work, and she was at home taking care of us. But they made, you're right, they made it like that because number one, first of all, once we start having these kids, so they start taking away a lot of benefits because my father and my mother was married. They didn't get the benefits of a couple that's not married. You got to sneak in, act like you don't live there and all that, but they was married. So 7 kids, they started taking away food stamps from 7 kids from us back then. Crazy. And my father was the only one working at the time. I remember when I had to pay for lunch in school, and I'm like, what? I had to pay for lunch.
Yeah, because they don't want that man in the house.
Yeah. So, but my father stayed, he stood his ground, hard work, forget that.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank the Most High for my father, taught me a lot, and my mother. But, when I was young, I used to think, man, I wish I was rich and all this. Man, I look back over that, I said, man, I was thinking crazy because I didn't know no better, But I see that the struggles that we have within together, the black man, black woman, if we stay together, man, can you imagine what it's going to be
They
when
scared of
we
that.
come there? Good God Almighty.
They scared of that.
No,
Every time they leave us alone, what we do? We build, don't we?
yeah,
And here come them, like Black Wall Street. What they
yeah,
do?
yeah. They just can't. They don't want us to um, prosper. I mean, everything, man. I can even tell you stuff within the job. Man, I'm telling you something, man. The enemy is after us as a black man, black woman. And
Mm-hmm.
so when we look at all right, now this is a thing, brother Eric. Now we can see what happened within this captivity in America, right? And how they tried to split up our families and make the woman the head of the house. So basically what they did, really.
Mm-hmm.
And what they cause us to do, cause us to go look, because what I'm saying, if you got the attitude of the head of the household, yes, the black woman gonna be mad. Yes, the black woman gonna think you that. And then you a brother out here and you get put in jail because you stole a annihilator or a piece of candy for 5 years. Now you got a record. Now it's hard for you to find a job. But the black woman, she goes out, she started to get her degree and start to work up. You notice it's easier for them to get business than the black man. And y'all, I'm not talking junk about y'all, I'm just telling the truth. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And they start to build up. And while we still here, right? What you think that mindset? I'm gonna get a white dude. What do you think the black man? I'm gonna get me a white girl because you see what I'm saying? And that's what's going on. Could that be happening in Babylon, brother Eric? We know we wasn't white and black, but it was Cushites and Israelites. Which that right there could have played a part too. It'd be something that we can find documentation on what really happened in Babylon that caused our brothers to go marry all these strange women.
Yeah, because this is after Ezra, and this after we left Babylon, right?
Yeah, so it happened in Babylon.
It happened in Babylon, just like today. Yeah.
So that's
if you go read Isaiah the 3rd chapter, it characterizes, it gives you all the character of the daughters of Zion.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like to shy away from that. But
what chapter?
Isaiah 3 talks about what was daughters of Zion. If you want to get right to it, start at verse 15. It does. It
do. Yeah. They talk about the hair too.
You know, and it's really a choice, man. Like it don't have to be the way it is. It's a mindset. It's a spirit that's behind it. You know, all it take is a little understanding. When they force welfare on our people, a lot of sisters didn't really have a choice but to accept it, because what else did they have? You know, a lot of brothers left the home purposefully just so they could receive what they needed, because they took jobs away. They outsourced and moved jobs to different places. So now black men can't work. Now you got a lot of black men going into the military or going by other means. So it is really a choice, you know. And the reason they monitored black women so heavily is because when you look at the concept of welfare, all America doing is taking the subsidies that they could be given to families to help families build and start up. This is why when you look at white people, they benefit from it the most. You see what I'm saying? When we was growing up, them food stamps was them little books with the different colors.
With the papers, yellow paper, colors,
You could only get a certain type of food. You couldn't go get no Cheetos and no, you know, nothing name brand with it, you know. But now you look at how it is now, you can go and get anything that anybody else get, and it's because they're using it mostly, but they use it against us to break up our families. But then once again, it's a choice. Once you have a certain mindset, you know, you're going to give in and yield to what the enemy is offering you because of your mindset. And that's what happened with a lot of our women, you know, because of the mindsets that they had, they yielded to that, you know.
Also, it's we all in survival mode and one of all things. So you're right. A lot of people ain't have no choice but to choose that.
Yeah. I mean, but the whole thing about it is our women, man, when you look at the great women in the Bible, you know, our women are great. Our women are capable of doing a lot. You got women who, because of their beauty and because of just them alone, the Most High used them to weaken nations on our behalf so his people wouldn't get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just our mindsets, you know, and even when we hear this truth, our people get so upset, you know, we point fingers at each other, and it's like, instead of doing that, let's understand what's going on. You know, you can't get mad as much as you want to. You can't get mad at the car, get outside and start kicking it because it ain't running no more. That's not gonna make it work. You're gonna have to try to really break that thing down to see what's causing this not to work. And that's what we got to do as people.
Hey, look at this. What Praise on put up, y'all. Check that out.
Yep.
You see that?
Yeah.
Said all Canaan gonna be rooted out of the earth. Yep.
So
And Esau.
yeah, I think Canaan already gone, but you know, I think Canaan was the Native Americans, and we know what happened to them when the English came over. They basically killed them all out. It's just my thinking, but I could be wrong.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what happened to the Native Americans. But you know,
Hey, hold on. What tribe was they? Native American.
On a 12 tribe chart.
yeah. Oh my God, I can't help but laugh when I think about that. Yeah, like, man, come on. According to the scripture, they need to be waking us up. They was gagged. What the heck? Come on.
Wiped out.
Wiped out. They whited out. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Them juggers they done. But now you got people saying they, you know, I think they possibly they could have been Canaanites. But you see what happened to them. According to the scriptures, they've been, you know, that's why and that's another reason. Why would you mix your seed to a nation that's going to be completely rooted out, destroyed? And that's what the Most High, the message he's given us. Esau, Canaanites, Moabites. What about Ruth now? But
she was a Moabite.
y'all put some good verses up there. So now, what do First Kings and 11 read? 1 and 2. Can you go to Josiah?
Yeah.
First Kings 11, 1 and 2. It's very important because when we look at that, right, a lot of people use Solomon, right? They use Solomon as their back burner. Well, look at Solomon. You know, Solomon done this, you know. So I like to go there. I mean,
what chapter was that again?
First Kings 11, verse
11 and 1. Yeah.
All right, shalom, Yanakota.
Hey, shalom, family. Shalom. I just happened to peep the broadcast, and I'm like, oh, what a coincidence. I know this gonna piss a couple people off, you know. A couple of campers that might think it a little different, but I hope they paying attention and taking note. I hope they got their doggone pencil and pen and paper out.
Yeah, because this is English.
They're playing English. I mean, y'all ain't even touched on Proverbs 5. Why they love the quote from King Solomon so much.
Yeah, they love King's 5. What's the real bone? Real bone.
Yeah, real bone. Yeah.
Real bone, y'all Messiah, ain't
But Solomon had, 700 wives. Well, let's see what the wisdom of Solomon said. I'm glad y'all said that. Well, let's go to Proverbs and see what our brethren said about that then. Proverbs, they say you're not supposed to give your honor to no stranger.
Well, that chick is
I don't know how you get around it, but they sit there and they'll look at these dudes, these Latino people. And I mean, look, I ain't got nothing against you people. Y'all got a history that's confusing enough.
You want to hear something funny?
Hey, want to hear something funny, Yannicota? Go ahead and tell me something.
They called Negro too.
Who called what? They call Negro too. No, you must be meaning about those Negritos up in the mountains.
We was told today that the Mexicans, Latinos, was called Negroes because the Zondervan Bible Dictionary says Ham is the father of the dark nation and not the Negroes. He said, "Oh yeah, they was called Negroes."
So how do you explain them? What was them slave manifest where they were selling us to say we had fine Negro slaves for sale, and it wasn't a Mexican in sight?
Yeah, I know. then they try to switch up and say, "No, I was talking about the black people down there." I was like, "Nah, bro."
According to Dave Chappelle, they was in slavery with us.
Who was Mexican?
Yeah, you remember that episode he did where he reenacted Roots and that that was a Chinese.
So y'all don't get me to laugh, y'all. So, also one other thing, y'all. Josiah sent a video to a brother, and it had a bunch of Mexicans on the title.
That's the doggone thing.
What did he say? He said, "The hate you have for Mexicans."
I know.
I mean, we don't even have to go to the male side about this to look at this. I mean, look at the females, the Latino, the white Latino women as opposed to the actual daughters of Zion, right? It said that the daughters of Zion would be cursed with a balding and scab upon the scalp. Mm-hmm. We know that is alopecia. Now, do these people suffer from alopecia? No, they don't.
Let him tell it.
You ain't never seen one Mexican woman suffer from alopecia. You ain't seen Salma Hayek over there looking like Jada Pinkett Smith. You ain't never seen it.
Bro. I think she was just all cap.
Okay.
He said a soft cap.
Brother, decide you go read First Kings 11. Let me take my face off here. I can't stop laughing, y'all.
All right.
Will you read First Kings 11, 1 and 2? And then you gonna bring out that Proverbs after that, Josiah. I mean, Yannicota. I'm messing up names here. Y'all make me feel old up here.
Look, Brother Jason say Will Smith gonna come slap him.
Tell him, hey, I ain't Chris. I fight back.
Hey, them people that get up here talking about Mexicans are Negroes, I believe what he talking about. Will Smith gonna smack him.
He said Mexicans are brown. he said Lopez. What's his name? Lopez brown skin.
Nah, he's saying that because I said Jada Pinkett Smith bald headed.
Look, he said George Lopez brown, but he said his mama is light.
Yeah, he did. Oh man!
Backwards. Oh my God!
All right, so y'all.
Meanwhile, George Lopez got rants online where he, N-word this and N-word that. But go ahead. You gonna keep on talking about that's your people.
But the funniest part of that video we did with that guy, Brother X said, "Do you think we deserve reparation?" He said, "No." And I was like, "Man, you a coon. What's going on?" He was lying. Then Brother X said, "Why you don't think we deserve reparation?" He said, "Oh yeah, we do." He said, well, why you say no? He said, oh, I thought you said Mexican.
Oh my goodness. But here's the thing, man. I'm sitting back and I'm looking at it, and I hear all these brothers, that's in these camps, and they like, oh well, the Latinos is us too, and this is because of this that they have fooled other Negroes into relationships with these people. Now, mind you, they standing up in their congregation and they're performing marriages upstairs on the dresser. You see what I'm saying? They're performing marriages and vows before Yahuwah, not realizing that the Most High specifically told us not to do this, not to give our daughters to another family, and not to give our sons to another woman. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were specifically told not to do this. This was allowed. This wasn't a suggestion. So when they talk about in Ezra and in Nehemiah, because Nehemiah is basically the second witness to what was going on at that time, when they both say, oh, we transgressed the Most High Yahuwah in this matter, it didn't say we transgressed our ancestors. It said we transgressed Yahuwah. This was the will of Yahuwah, that we be ye separate.
Right. So
No, Ezra didn't make that up.
No, this brother said Ezra was wrong what he did. And when you look at Deuteronomy 23, you look at the law, Ezra was not wrong. He said Ezra was wrong what he did.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's somebody that want to hold on to their falsities and wrongdoing. A dog returned back to his vomit.
But he said he believed that REI had that dream about that chart, and that's right. I'm not lying. As I'm making this up, brother, say,
nope.
So REI, the false prophet, had a dream.
My man said they put blood, sweat, and tears in that chart.
They can have it back. They can have it back.
He throw off of. He said, "Y'all don't have a chart."
That man's about to cry.
He said, "We don't need a chart. Our chart is one prong. We are the Africanoid Asiatic black people."
Hey, what's that word he used?
Nah, bro, we the Incas. We the Incas and the
Aztec.
So I said, "Damn, the Incas." I looked on now, like, damn, where they get that from?
Check this out. Hey, you got that? Or you want me to read 1 Kings 11?
I got it. Hold on. Let me unlock this phone.
Yeah, I'm sitting over here at Proverbs 5. So let me know when y'all want me to rain down fire on that head.
Go to 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Yeah,
this I got
you. He had a dream too in Red Word Up magazine.
Yeah. Yesterday, one of them, I started rapping that when he kept saying about that dream of that chart.
He said it was all a dream. Biggie Smalls ass nigga.
Yeah, it said, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. Of the nations, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come into you, for surely they will turn away your hearts after their gods.
They'll say, well, if you get one of them that don't turn away your heart, it's okay. What the heck? The scripture don't say that. It says surely they will. And we can see it in today's now. Women of Israel and men. You got a woman, her name is Maria or something. She teaches to love the Gentile because her husband is Gentile. You see? This is what happened. Your heart is already turned because you teach the stuff that's not right. And you got out here that's married to these strange women. They can't teach right. They skip over certain things because of that. And it's sad. Just teach the truth.
Yeah, they don't even deal with it. The people, they don't deal with it at all.
But how are you gonna relate to somebody that can't relate to your plight?
Yeah, but you're right. But if that was me, I think I would, y'all. I think I would. I can't say I would 100%, but I think I would because I'm not in their shoes, so I can't just put myself in the shoes. But I think the right way would do is go ahead and teach the truth, even though you're in that situation. If you didn't know that before you came into the truth, You
I'm
said
gonna still say what Christ said. I'm gonna say that for last.
okay. All right, keep going.
That's what we call that.
I'm gonna say that for last.
Opportunity of grace.
So where you stop at? Right? You're on verse 3.
It says Solomon clave unto these in love, and he had 700 wives, princess, 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's what happened. So when we do that, that's what's gonna happen. Ain't no such thing as, well, maybe they follow you. Let me tell you something. It's hard for me that I find a sister of Zion. You tell me. You can go out here and get a strange woman that know nothing about Zion, right? And don't even have a heart for it, but you can be all right with them. That's not gonna work.
Hey, I broke the code on that. For all of you brethren, all you male fellas, you suitors that's single and looking for a woman of Zion, and I'm talking about one of those Proverbs 31 women. Listen tight. Grab your notebooks. Grab your pens. I'm gonna drop Uncle Tom gonna drop y'all a little bit of information. Y'all the coach is gonna give y'all the key to the kingdom. This is how you do it. Y'all listen.
I'm gonna get a pen.
Okay, this is how you do it. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is how you do it. What you do is you bend your left knee, you bend your right knee while you're facing toward the east. You look up and you say, Father, I need a wife. Stop trying to do it yourself because you're obviously failing.
Amen.
Yeah.
Was not Eve brought to Adam?
Amen.
Okay, then. So stop out there trying to chase something that you ain't supposed to be chasing. You're supposed to be chasing Yahuwah, not a woman.
That's right. All right. See?
Hey,
That's good.
That's the shortest book ever written, right there.
I even go a little deeper. Paul said it's better for them even touch a woman.
There it is.
Well, you try.
If she ain't your own, don't touch her. Leave her alone. Matter of fact, run from her. She got cootie.
No, Paul.
But that wasn't no commandment. That was, that's Paul.
You know what I told
I said she got cootie straight up. Like, oh man, you got to be willing to do it the old school way.
You try that, then let me know. No, but you are right. You're right. And that right there could be my problem. I'm looking for a wife and not looking more towards the Most High. It can consume you too, and I need to be looking towards the Most High, and then that right one would be there. Even though we supposed to go after the women, but you can be in the point that, I want a wife, I want a woman, which I do, and it seemed like always, okay, I think I got somebody, but it don't work out. I think I got some don't work out. So now I'm gonna take your advice, brother Yanakota. See what I'm saying? And what's wrong with that? Now some people get on and be like, no, that's not right. What is that to debate?
You got an agenda, Kadar.
I just want to see my brothers happy. Everybody want a righteous husband, a righteous wife, and stuff. So it's ways about going about doing it. When you show to the Father that you are a righteous man, the Most High gonna be like, "Hey, look what I got for you," just like He did with Adam. He gonna present to you your wife.
Yeah.
And then you already gonna know how to handle it because the Most High didn't guide you. Was chasing after the Father, not her. So now she come into her own, into her natural prime. It's a beautiful thing. I testify to this because this is how me and my wife did.
Bo, stop laughing at me. Hey, but you know what? I'm gonna take Yanako's advice, brother Josiah. You said Paul said don't touch a woman. I tell you, I don't know about that one. But anyway,
I said that was I said that was Paul talking. Paul talk like he'll talk like this is what I'm saying, and this is the Lord saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Paul said don't touch a woman. Oh, man, come on now.
He said if they can't contain, let them marry. He did say that too.
Yeah. Paul said a whole lot.
He did. That's what I said.
Brother Eric got something you got up right here, right, brother Eric?
Yeah, I just wanted to show y'all what Brother Yanakota was saying, but I want to show it to you in writing.
Okay.
This is Testament of Reuben, the 4th chapter. He say, "Pay no heed, therefore, my children, to the beauty of women, nor set your mind on their affairs, but walk in singleness of heart in the fear of Yahweh, and expend labor on good works and on study and on your flocks, until Yahweh will give you a wife whom he will, that he suffer not, as I did." So he was lusting, and that got him in trouble. He lusted after his father's concubine. And so he's saying right here, as a young man, don't get so caught up in the looks of women, especially these days, because I would warn any man with a lustful heart. These are the days that you don't really want to be doing that kind of stuff.
You're right.
You don't know who.
You know, telling what you.
Hey, look, man, look, y'all came on my challenge, just cut me to pieces on here, y'all. Now,
no offense. I mean, even sometimes we need to do self-examining on our own self and rebuke ourselves.
I'm glad of that. You're right. You're so true. I need that. I need that.
If you keep reading in that what's that, Reuben, the book of Reuben? If you keep reading in that, it'll let you know about how women are evil.
Yeah, that's the book of Reuben, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It say something about how they can't how it go? It's like they ain't got no physical strength over you, but they lure you through their beauty and
Maybe that's why Paul said don't touch a woman, but I don't know about that.
Is that it, Eric?
Yeah, it's in Reuben. Yeah, it's the same book. But he's telling you right here, this is how you find a wife. It's not by searching for beauty, and it's not to say don't desire beauty in a woman, but the Most High,
look for that. Yeah,
he know what you want. You know what I mean? Because these days, if you lusting after women, man, you look up, you're gonna find yourself in The Crying Game Part 2. I don't know if y'all remember that movie, that old Forrest Whitaker movie, where he fell in love with this transgender that he met in the club and took him home and found out what he had. I
don't want that to happen to me, man.
Yeah, some men can't go back.
Yeah.
I pull a Paul right there. Don't touch a woman. Get
that. But they ain't a woman.
I sure don't want to touch that, man.
Hey, it's some things. It's levels to the game. It's like about what are you willing to sacrifice to the Most High in order to get your wife? Are you willing to sacrifice your time that you spent going after these certain types? Because what if the Most High is sitting there, he's sitting there telling you, hey, look, I know you like that, son. I know you like that, but it ain't no good for you. You see, he might be going ahead doing you the biggest favor and you don't even know. And the same thing for the females. Till we learn how to exercise patience and wait ye upon Yahuwah, we always gonna keep running into walls and dead ends.
Or we're gonna end up like the Levite priesthood in Ezra 10.
Yeah. And right. We know what happened to them. They ended up in South Africa, known as the Limba.
You're right.
And that's the other side.
Hey, where's that?
Yeah, what scripture is that?
Where you get
what
that from?
Scripture is that? Oh, that's not scripture. That was actually a documentation that they did for National Geographics.
If you ever find that, let me know. Send it to me. I would like.
That's when they were doing the DNA test of the Limba. The dude was telling the story about how they got there. He said, well, during the time of Nehemiah, we came down here because they expelled us because of the mixing. He said it, but they didn't really go into it. So I sat there and I had to rewind it and I listened carefully and he said it again. Yeah, Nehemiah, it was during the time where they were expelled because that was their time during Nehemiah and they had foreign wives and they weren't going to give up their family. So they left.
But you know, we got two of them that opposed it. We read it in Ezra 10. You remember we was talking about that?
Yeah.
Two opposed it. Yeah. Two stood up and opposed it. Hey, they don't want to get rid of them wives. Yeah.
Yep, that's part of the Limba's oral traditions. I mean, you find that on YouTube. All you gotta do is look it up. Limba's oral traditions, and they got audios, they got videos. You can check it out. Listen, it'll tell you that's how they came down. They left during the time of Nehemiah. They went down into Yemen. That's where they went to. They went into Yemen, and then from Yemen they crossed over and went to Abyssinia, and then they went south from Abyssinia down into what we know today as South Africa.
Was that during the 6th century?
That was during the first Bantu expansion.
So that's the first Bantu. So that was doing.
Year was that?
Was that? Hold up. Was that was when they went down there? So that's when was it doing Nehemiah? You said, right?
Yep, that was during the time of Nehemiah. That was during the time of Nebuchadnezzar, King Cyrus, and all of them.
When you said the sixth century,
that would have been further. That would have been way.
That would have been around by.
That would have been after
520 BC, maybe. I believe, maybe.
So they were in Abyssinia all that time.
Yeah, they were in Abyssinia for a long time. Matter of fact, they built a lot of these buildings that everybody know of, and you know, this is where these churches, these Ethiopian churches pulled up or popped up, or that's where it came from. The whole language of Gaez and all of that stuff, how they have it over there in Ethiopia, which is ancient day Abyssinia. All of that stuff is right there because guess who brought it? Exactly. So when the Limba get to talk about their oral tradition and how it matches up with the same thing with the Yakuba people, Yoruba people, the Igbo, the Bantu down there in the Congo, and most people don't realize the Congolese people actually they intermingle with the Angola people, right? Why? Because they were both Israelite tribes. The people from Angola was brought there by Spain and Portugal. They left from the coast and went further into what we know today as the Congo, which is why you have Congo, the Democratic side and Republic side.
Yeah. The reason I asked that is because when you look at that movie, The Message, that was during the spread of Islam, when Islam was starting to spread, and you see that in Abyssinia, you have a well-established kingdom in Abyssinia during that time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the Limba talk about that, how they built civilizations all the way down to where they're at today into this present area. Because the Limba are not just spread to just South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zaire, and you know, the lower southeast portion of Africa. They're actually transverse. There are also some Limba that are on, you know, the west coast of Africa. There's some that's in North Africa.
Yeah.
So their migration patterns is you gotta really do your research on the Bantu expansions. I think there was like 5 of them. We're called the diaspora for a reason. That's why they're like, oh, well, how you know you're from the house of Judah? Go research go find the definition of what diaspora means. It means dispersion of the Jews or Judah.
You know, I was gonna say, we're just gonna read some of the Proverbs.
Oh yeah, you want me to read that out of Proverbs?
Yeah, read out the Proverbs, and I was gonna ask you to go. What other scripture? We're gonna wrap it up unless y'all got some other, because I wanna. That's funny. That was very helpful what y'all brought to me. Praise y'all. This is why I think a lot of Israelites need to accept stuff instead of trying to go against the grain. Hey, nobody. I know I ain't perfect. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got here's Proverbs chapter 5. I'm gonna start at verse 3. Well, I can read the whole thing. That way everybody get it. This Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 1. My son, listen to my wisdom, incline your ear to my understanding, so as to watch over discretion, and your lips guard knowledge. I'm gonna say that again. And your lips guard knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drips honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lay hold to the grave. She does not consider the path of life. Her ways are unstable. Her ways are unstable. You don't know it. Now listen to me, you children, and do not turn away from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her, and do not come near her door of her house, lest you give your splendor to others and your years to one who is cruel, lest strangers be filled with your strength, and your labors go to the house of a foreigner. Then you shall howl in the latter end, when your flesh and your body is consumed, and shall say, how I have hated discipline, and my heart despised reproof. And I have not hated the voice of my teachers, and I have not inclined my ear to those who instruct me. In the little while I was in all evil, in the midst of an assembly and the congregation. Drink water from your own cistern, and running water from your own well. Y'all catching the reference point there? I'm gonna say it again. Drink water, hint, hint, from your own cistern, and running water from your own well. Should your springs be scattered abroad, rivers of water in the streets? Huh?
Wow.
Let them, let them only be your own, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth, a loving deer and a pleasant doe. Let her breast satisfy you at all times. Be captivated by her love always. For why should you, my son, be captivated by a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a foreigner? For the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahuwah, and he considers all his paths. The wicked are entrapped in his own wickedness, and he is caught in the cords of his sins. He died for lack of discipline, and in the greatness of his folly he goes astray.
Now, that right there was good. That right there, you can think about what's happening even until to this day when it comes to strange wives or strange women, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to hit on a point that was made in Ezra's 10, and why did Ezra cast out, the sons or the daughters they had, the kids they had by the strange wives. This is Deuteronomy 23, verse 2. A bastard shall not enter the congregation of the Lord, even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Why did he cast out the Ammonites and Moabites? Verse 3, and the Ammonite and Moabite shall not enter the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. So when we read that, when people say Ezra was not doing the law, what is it talking about? And that's what we got. People say Ezra, I don't say people, this one guy on said that. He said Ezra was not doing according to the law when the scripture tells you that he was. And when we get in the wilderness this time, when it come upon a time, I wonder if people are going to be strong like Ezra, right? Or they're going to be able to get them their portion of their inheritance. That's what the part comes in, right? Mm-hmm. He said, hey, y'all, he says all of the descendants of the captivity. That's what it says. He says, are y'all willing to get these women up, or you going to get your inheritance? What are you going to do?
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. Huh?
So Ezra put away the children because they was bastards, right?
Yeah. That's the only way I can find in the law. What y'all say?
Well, it was brought up an unsanctified union. See, what we as Israel got to understand, especially us men folk, because we carry the seed our seed is just not any seed. It's not like Joe Schmo from anywhere. You know, we're not Caucasians, we're not Mongoloids, we are a different set apart people. We have a holy seed. So when it's more than just laying with somebody from another race. Every time you do, you are committing an abomination. That is the difference.
All right.
Every time you do that, you create an abomination.
Right. That's the witness of the parents.
So you own to something. So
yeah.
If somebody got the abomination, do y'all got that in Jubilee? Y'all got it? You own to something, Yanakota, you're right. But in Scripture, where can we read it?
Matter of fact, didn't Ezra and Nehemiah both said that they said that the Levites defiled the holy seed.
Yep, Ezra 9. You're right.
Ezra chapter 9, and if I ain't mistaken, Nehemiah backed it up. He said the same thing because, well, shit, he was there. He would know.
Here you go right here.
They have defiled the holy seed.
Got it.
With Jubilees 30 and 13.
Yeah.
It says, and it is a reproach to Israel, to those who live, and to those that take the daughters of the Gentiles, for this is unclean and abomination to Israel. And Israel will not be free from this uncleanness if it has a wife of the daughters of the Gentile, or has given any daughter to a man that's of a Gentile.
Wow. You can't get no clearer than that, y'all.
Yeah, that's cut.
You know what the camp guys say? Well, I don't believe in Jubilee 30.
Really?
Yeah.
Then
they would be one of those cats that ran across Paneas. Remember when Paneas stabbed old buddy and his girl right through the stomach in front of the whole congregation?
Yeah.
What was going on? A plague was happening because folks was mixing.
He got a covenant for it. He got a covenant, everlasting covenant for that, didn't he?
He absolutely did. As soon as he ran them through, the plague stopped.
So this right here says it was just the Levites. You're right, because it says all the descendants of the captivity. But this is what guys use. They'll say, "Oh, that was just the Levites," or they're just a small people, because they don't read the whole book of Ezra's 10. It says so that means everybody. So
Matter of fact, don't you go back to Deuteronomy when the Most High Yah himself called us a holy possession?
Yeah.
Hold on, check this out. Hold on, I got another scripture for y'all.
Y'all, if anybody on Facebook, did y'all see my picture of my great nephew? He looked almost, you can't tell he got black in him. Straight Mexican, don't he? Y'all see that picture? That's my great nephew. And I did that now, and I want people to know we can't operate in agendas. We know our families don't mixed up, and that's why I did that. I have two nephews that's Mexican descent, Salvador Mexican descent. Two of them, not one, and they are my niece's sons. And I love them, but I can't change the Bible because of that. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't change it. And that's why I put it up there, because I want people to see.
Hey, check what Sirach 26 and 20 and 21 say. It said, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thy own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy race, when thou leavest, shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent.
Wow. What scriptures was that, y'all? Jubilee 30, right? I think what you're talking about. 30 and what you read, Josiah? I think this right here is some serious matter, and believe it or not, I think this is going to cause a lot of our brothers to get purged out of the wilderness. They ain't going to go into our land because of this.
Yeah, that was 30 and 14. Jubilee's 30 and 14.
30 and 14 up next. Jubilee's 30 and 14. I think this is what's going to happen. But man, so according to what we read, according to what we see, that's part of the sin that's part of sin too. Because that sin don't get talked about a lot. It's like pushing under the rug, and you can just have anybody. And that's part of the sin too. It's something that we see, we talk about the law, we talk about the Sabbath, and we talk about a lot of stuff as a sin, right? But we know Brother Hurt made that clear about he got scriptures, he's Bible. I wanted to get on that the other night and I couldn't get on. I was so upset. I said, man. But he came on there, he stood his ground and he handled it good. And I tell people now, I say when you look at the calendar, 364 days, how can you pinpoint, a certain day? But it was pretty good. Brother Ed is real master in that, so I let him handle that. But I will back him. He's pretty good on that. But when we talk about that, also we talk about different sins that we do as a nation. We're not perfect as a nation, that's true. But the book of not Second Baruch, Lord, I'm ready to go to Second Baruch 72. Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30 tells us that we will recognize ourselves in the land of our captivity and start to remember the laws. It didn't say we was going to be perfect in them. And that's why the Hamashiach had to come, y'all. Why do we forget the Hamashiach? We can't forget that. A lot of us, we forget that.
Yep.
So let's look at some of this. Crystal clear.
I mean,
Plague. So what?
I believe the real reason why these cats do this is for one color and one color only, green. That money. It's the only real reason why they would continue on. Because first of all, they can't come to anybody who's been in the truth longer than 5 minutes and sit there and say Ariel was telling the truth when we know he was a false prophet. When you ever known a false prophet to tell the truth? I'll wait.
Said the world said supposed to. It said that we're supposed to got our land back in 2000. What happened?
Yeah, he said the Messiah was coming and everything. Everybody out there in the street was teaching it. Everybody. This is before they all split up. And before he named old buddy the comforter. He decided he's going to give himself a prophecy because he believed in himself to be a prophet. But Messiah, the true Messiah, he the one that told us, beware of these false prophets because there be many. Everybody looking for just this one. There's a whole bunch of antichrists out here.
Shoot, every last one call themselves Christian. Yeah, me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We over here looking for just this one. It's a system.
Who was that guy earlier we was talking to?
That was my nephew, Thomas. Yeah. He's a pure Israelite, man. That's not the. But yes, Thomas, and he was talking about the body of Christ. For some odd reason, he was believing it was the Christian church in America. I like this. Come on. Oh, I forgot to send the link.
Not another one,
Hey, I was going to bring out Nehemiah chapter 9.
You said another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Well, he used to me spending.
Yo, I was going to say, if y'all didn't mind, I was going to go out of Nehemiah chapter 9 so that way everybody could know that, yeah, Nehemiah witnessed the same thing Ezra was talking about.
Yes, Nehemiah did. And you check it out because Brother Messiah pulled that out the other day on somebody.
Yeah. It starts off, if y'all don't mind.
you already got the police called on you.
I know. No, this brother, my brother here reading the scripture. What the heck?
Call police. What happened? Somebody got hurt. Somebody got shot. No, he reading the Bible.
Yeah, hey, it's just a couple of shots being shut out though.
Could I know about that?
Yeah.
Well, here you go.
I got told by another grown man that he was gonna get his daddy to jump on me. Cause I'm blind to sight. What he said, I'm gonna get my daddy. I said, what?
I thought I heard it. I thought I heard it all until you said that.
I was talking about the father,
Yeah,
father Ezra. He said, no,
the ancient of days. I thought you was talking about that too.
no, I'm gonna get my real daddy. I'm like, what?
He right here.
But this word is true. When we heard it says, for my name's sake, all these things will happen. We know when I was in Christianity, man, I never had no problem with nobody. I tell them I'm a minister, man, they treated me like I was a king. I go to a restaurant, minister, get the best seat in the house, have a suit tie on. I never had no problem. Never. I don't care the biggest, what they call the biggest devil out here. They tell you tell them you're a minister in Christianity, they give you respect. The minute you tell them you're an Israelite, oh my goodness. No more.
I tell you gotta go to the back. You gotta
look how they whoop
in the back.
Yeah. Look how they whooped Kyrie Irving.
Oh my goodness. Hey,
they
man,
whipped him.
I got much respect for him. He stood his ground, man.
No, they whooped him.
They whooped him, but he stood his ground. What you got?
Tell them you're an Israelite. They tell you gotta go pick your food up in the back.
Yeah, you're right. And that's sad, y'all. That's why, even though we're talking about what's going on, how our brothers married these strange wives, basically we separate. This is why it's more often we should be together because of what's going on. We only got each other. For real, we do. We only got each other. So you got an Israelite brothers and sisters together. And I was really sorry. And together as a collective group, man, you know how much we can accomplish. I mean, can accomplish, like you said, Black Wall Street and the cities they burnt down because they hated to see us prosper. But it was written. It was written. It wasn't our time. Because can you imagine, y'all, if all these black cities that was prospering up to this day, we wouldn't be thinking about no Israelite. We'd be chilling right now, So it wasn't our time. It wasn't our time to do that at that time. Most High want us back home, and I want to go back home. I want to go back home, but I want to tell the brothers and sisters, if you think marrying outside of Israel after you knowing you're an Israelite, it's not going to keep you out of your land, you better think again. It will. Brother Eric got that verse that says you would die with him. I think that's in Jeremiah, Brother Eric.
Isaiah.
Isaiah
13.
What'd that say?
Isaiah 13, I think.
It says that you would die with him. These other nations. So this is very important. This is a serious matter, and I think a lot of people miss over this teaching. They don't teach that. They just miss over it, and it's sad. I had a sister tells me that because she didn't know who she was, and she married an Edomite, right? She said, if I get to the wilderness and I have to let him go, he gone. Yeah. What she said. Now I don't know if she'll do that, but that's what she said. So this is we got to look forward to. What else? Of course, that's not the only one.
Yo, y'all want me to bring that out in Nehemiah? Because it's actually two of them.
Bring it up.
Nehemiah chapter 9, and then there's Nehemiah chapter 10. And they both pretty much cuts.
Yeah.
Well, Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 1, and I'm going to go through 1 through 3. It says, and on the 24th day of the month, the children of Israel, which were assembled with fasting and sackcloth with the earth upon them, and the descendants of Israel separated themselves from all foreigners and stood and confessed their sins and their wickedness of their fathers. And they stood up in their place, and they read from the book of the Torah of Yahuwah, their Elohim, a fourth part of the day. In the fourth part of the day, they were confessing and worshiping Yahuwah, their Elohim. And then if you skip over to, let's say, Nehemiah chapter 10 and start at verse 29, or start at actually verse 28, it talks about, and the rest of the people of the Kohanim, the Levites, the gatekeepers, the singers, the Nephilim, and all those who had separated themselves from the people of the land unto the Torah of their Elohim, their wives, their sons, and their daughters, all who had knowledge and understanding, were joining with their brothers and their nobles, and with their and were entering into a curse, into a oath, into a curse and into a oath to walk in the Torah of Elohim, which was given by Moshe and the servant of Elohim, to guard and to do all the commands of Yahuwah our Adon, our master, and his right rulings and his laws and his statutes. And it says, verse 30, and that we would not give our daughters as wives to the people of the land, nor take their daughters for our sons. And that if the people bring wares or any grain on the Shabbat, we should not buy from them on the Shabbat or on any Kodesh day, and we would forego the 7th year in the interest of every hand. They're talking about reimposing all the laws that Moshe had originally gave us.
Yeah, because
the women also did it as well. The women left their kids and their foreign husbands as well. They, being joined in Torah, they left and joined their brothers to keep the Torah.
Yanakota.
Yeah.
When it tells that Nehemiah something he gonna lay hands on, they come back here selling some of that stuff during the Shabbat.
Oh yeah, if I keep reading, he talks about how he put hands on them.
Yeah.
So they kept showing up trying to pester them and try to keep them to break this Shabbat and break their oath to Yahuwah. So he had enough of that, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but he rose up, him and a couple of his fellow brethren, and they proceeded to lay hands upon them. And I don't mean in a good way.
When Yanakota, one of y'all read that what Jason Phillip put up.
Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
And you tell me this ain't a serious matter?
I mean, yeah, y'all sure y'all don't want a daughter of Zion? I mean, they're all gorgeous.
I'm saying you're gonna be.
Look what Christ said in Matthew 19 and 29. He said, and everyone that had abandoned houses, brethren, sister, father, mother, wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit eternal life, everlasting life.
That's the one you was saying.
Yeah, that's the gut puncher right there.
No, you gotta separate families.
Which one?
It's not meat for me to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. That's the one.
Shalom, Carlotta. My niece right here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Y'all, Josiah, are you trying to separate families?
Yeah.
Somebody said
yeah. According to these scriptures, yeah.
Man, I ain't trying to do nothing, but if the spirit hits you, it ain't me, it's the spirit. That means you probably should take it up with the Father, not the messenger.
This is a scripture that said if you save your brother from sin, your sins will be forgiven. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but they say we speaking harshly. How can we go against somebody's family? What give us the right to say that? We don't have the right to say nothing. We merely read what Nehemiah said, and we like, yo.
Oh, that's just like God not love everybody. You just gotta deal with it.
Right. They say God love everybody. Well, if he did, why he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah?
Yeah, they get mad at that too.
So y'all
he killed everybody.
Yeah.
Do a part 2. Well, we had a couple part 2s we need to do, but let's do a part 2 on what the 2 verses. You went to Nehemiah, right? And the verse you brought out, what the Messiah said.
Yeah.
The titles, would you give up houses, home, husbands, wives? Would you give that up for the Messiah's sake to follow him?
Remember, yeah, because there ain't no marriage in heaven. We like the angels.
Right.
Well,
here's the crazy thing. The Messiah said to the rich man, he say, you keep the law? He said, yeah, I've not transgressed. No law, nor jot, nor tittle. He said, cool. Go sell everything you got. Go buy a sword and come follow me.
Can't do that. I'm a merchant.
He's like, Messiah, I feel what you're talking about, but man, I can't do that. I just can't do that. Like, I can't just give up. Well, I thought you said that you walking the way of Yahuwah. He the one that bless you, don't it? He got gut check right then and there. That go to show materialistic shit or materialistic stuff. It's like, yeah, y'all. Materialistic stuff don't mean nothing. Because the Messiah went on to say, for surely I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The Most High, he was telling us all along what's happiness. That we're over here chasing what they told us happiness is. Happiness is taking care of the meek, taking care of the weak, taking care of the widow and the fatherless. That's what richness is. When we start sowing back into ourselves, that's where the pride come in. Then you can't leave the Father out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We so focused on what we can do. It's ridiculous.
They don't understand that the law, the commandments, and the statutes, all that is prophecy.
Facts.
Do this or this gonna happen. Don't do this and this. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
what's gonna happen before you do it.
What forever mean?
Yeah.
No, I think that when we look at this, it's joining of our people back together. And just like it's a war going on in men and women in Israel, we need to join back together because we see what's going to happen to us if we don't. And Isaiah, 13, 15, what you just put up? I just put it. I think it's Isaiah 13, 15. Jason, yeah. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
I'm gonna say that to somebody tonight.
Yeah. So we know he's joined with them too.
Yeah.
And he's fighting a fight, or he's angry. And I asked him, man, why are you so upset? But we know once we look at the scriptures and we look at that, there's no way in the world can you go against that. But yet still you'll find somebody that try to say, well, if they don't turn you away from the Most High, it's okay. The scripture don't say that, man. Come on. It says they will. And if they
will turn you away, yeah.
So it's a prophecy that's saying they will.
Yeah, he said they will. Yeah.
So tell your son, your daughter, listen, don't go to that skating ring because we know if you go to that skating ring, it's going to cost a certain amount of dollars to get your skates. And this is what it's going to cost. You know it's already going to cost now. By luck, chance, it might not. But majority of the time, it's going to cost $25 to get the skates. And I'm not paying $25. I'm just making an example. And a lot of people will make up excuses. Well, suppose we go to another skating rink that we can get in nearby to pay $10. I mean, come on. It's just what we do as Israel. We make up excuses to get what we want. And so they can heed to the Most High. We make excuses up, and that's what they do.
Well, see, this is the genius of the Most High. Think about it like this. The more in disarray we are, the more the Most High is trying us by fire. And those of us that's coming out as pure gold, it shows. And those of us that's, we see that, right? So think about how big a miracle would be when the Most High unite us. No man, no brother that we know or nothing like that. Just the Messiah and the awesome power of the Ruach HaKodesh uniting us overnight, instantly. That's a miracle in itself. And it's such a strong miracle that we would instantly begin to give praise to Yahuwah, for we know he has done this and no one else.
He say, shall a nation be born in a day?
Facts.
You know? Shall a nation be born in a day?
So what I've learned to do is begin to rejoice when I see all of this chaos. Why? Because the words of Yah are coming true. It said in this day and in this time that we live in the end time, that every man's eye would be evil toward his brother. And that's exactly what we see. If we wasn't seeing that, then the words of Yah would not be true.
You're right. Deuteronomy 28. That's a prophecy.
Facts.
Don't you know, man, we talking about giving away our inheritance and everything, but salvation in itself is our inheritance.
Right.
We inherit salvation, and you look at how people give that away through Christianity. When you start talking about the Most High going to deliver Israel, what's the first question you hear? What about the other people?
What about white people?
What about
what about Ruth?
Hey, man, don't get me started, because you know I always direct people. Well, y'all believe in the prophets, go and read what Joel had to say.
Right, my brother, first thing he says, God don't hate white people. I'm like, what?
My brother said the same thing.
Yeah.
Only make think white people are Gentiles.
Well, why you think that? That's a setup. You go to Genesis 10, they call them Gentiles, then it's set up through the whole Bible. Y'all see that? How they did that?
It's the crafty counsel that we're dealing with. You know, this Psalms 83, this is something they've been practicing since the time of King David.
Yeah.
You feel me? So they well practicing their scapegoat tactics. You feel me? So the one thing that we should learn from all of this, from over time and all of this, is if you know somebody's going to go left and go right and this, that, and the third, don't go with them. You stick to what it say. What does it say in that book? If it don't say it in that book, then that person's selling you a bunch of bull.
You know, half the time, they say, you know, ain't gonna say it in the book. Christians don't know yet. That's sad.
It's a little bit of itching. It's a little bit of itching ears too.
Yeah, that too. It's like supply and demand, you know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be so much deception if our people didn't suffer for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And reject knowledge.
Oh.
Right. Look, Akariah done posted on there. He put Baruch 4 and 3. Akariah be coming with it. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. He say Baruch 4 and 3. It says, "Give not thy honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation."
You can go to what's that?
Hey, quick question, they had told our vehicle, and I got the 225 to get out.
It's even in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Oh, really? So that goes along with Isaiah 15. I mean, it's sort of like, because if you be with them, you're going to perish with them. It says, do not give that honor to another nation. You're talking about the salvation, right? Know the things that are proper unto thee, to the strange nation. So how in the world, where is that salvation got to do with their salvation? How can they have two salvations? They can enjoy their salvation now. We the one need salvation, but not them. But yet still, they talking about, oh, God is going to save us. Save us from what?
Sins. That's what they teach. He's going to save you from your sins.
Then they'll teach you what sin is.
Right.
Yes.
But if you read it on your own, you find out sin is transgression of the law.
And then you gotta ask another question. Then another
What law
question
is
would
that?
be, well, who was the law given to?
Oh, matter of fact, who's the promise given to? We always talking about the covenant, right? This new covenant that the Most High is supposed to make after all of this stuff takes place, and he's going to make a new covenant with Israel, right? Or as the church say, it's going to be all the Christians are going to be part of this new covenant. Well, if you go to Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31, or starting at verse 31, it reads this and likewise. It says, "See, the days are coming, declares Yahuwah, when I shall make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Yehuda, not like the covenant I made with their fathers when I took them by the hand and brought them out of the land of Mizraim. My covenant which they broke, though I was a husband to them, declared Yahuwah. For this covenant I shall make with the house of Israel after those days, declares Yahuwah. And I shall put my Torah in their inward parts, and I shall write it on their hearts. And I shall be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. And no longer shall they teach each one his neighbor and each one his brother, saying, Know Yahuwah, for they shall know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, declares Yahuwah. For I shall forgive their wickedness and remember their sins no more. Thus saith Yahuwah, who gives the sun for light by day, and the laws of the moon and the stars for light by night, who stirs up the seas and the waves roar. Yahuwah of hosts is his name. Hallelujah.
Sure,
that's the new covenant.
You sure Moses didn't get that law? You know how the Christians say the Mosaic law.
And I would say,
where did he get that law from? He got it from the Most High.
I say what Christ said. If you ain't believe Moses, how you gonna believe me?
Facts.
Did you say Messi?
That's that overhand right they wasn't ready for right there.
Good. I mean, they can't explain that. And then you get to talking about the kingdom. Well, the kingdom say it got 12 gates to it. Which one you gonna walk through?
You gotta go by the chart by the chart by the camp guys. What this dude told us.
and
no, you gotta
go through. Then
y'all
why
need to go to school.
Garden?
He said we gotta go to school. We gotta make us a chart.
We gotta go to school. We gotta go to school and learn how to read the Bible.
Negro. There's one out there.
We gotta go learn to read the Bible.
Hey, check this out, y'all. Dakota. He said that we got to go to school, but he didn't even know where the Caucasus Mountain was at. He kept. I said, dude, it's in Georgia, and I ain't talking about Georgia in the United States.
You went out.
That shot out right there. Like it's right there in between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea.
Hey, then he said he didn't know that the Horites in the Strong's G means cave dwellers. He didn't know that neither. I said, but you keep telling people you got to go to school, and you don't know jack. Then he said, Northern Kingdom didn't go to Africa. I said, I'm asking again. You said Northern Kingdom ain't Africa? No. I said, Northern Kingdom ain't. He said, no. When I went to Isaiah, he laughing. And I read about the Northern Kingdom, where they at. He said, well, that's a remnant. I said, dude, something wrong with you.
These are the ones that they deny the truth, man.
What about Ruth?
Yeah, what about Ruth? That's what he said.
What about Ruth?
Yeah, what about Ruth?
That's when he get tied up.
He get tied up, he'll run the Ruth. Ruth Moabite. What about Ruth? I'll be like,
you know, they be upset when they find out that Joseph, when he was ruling Egypt, he was ruling alongside the Hyksos, which were a Shemitic people.
You know what your girl said? I am not lying. She said that Hyksos was a Canaanite. I am not lying.
No, they were Shemitic.
They were Shemitic. Well, yeah. Josiah pulled it up. I think it's Isaiah 52, I believe. It said She said the Hyksos was Canaanites. I could not believe that. Then she said Ammon was a Canaanite. I'm like, what? Yeah, Ammon is a Shemite. It's Moab's brother. But anyway, I don't want to jump on that subject. I just when you said that, I just
Right. When you break it down, no, the Hyksos, they're still around. We just call them by a different name, the Fulani.
what they do. They believe some of the update, what they call the update draws in Egypt, not the ancient draws. It's there was white people, so they can't. Man, you crazy.
Right. But see, when you go into the history around the time that Joseph went into Egypt, and you look at what was said about how the Egyptians abhorred the shepherds, it was abomination for the Egyptians to even be around them. Well, the
Yeah.
Hyksos whooped the Mizrites and the Cushites and pushed them into Upper Egypt, which is
When they call king shepherds.
yeah. So these were the shepherd kings that were ruling during the
Pip shepherd
time
kings.
that Joseph
All the
rose to power.
people.
Right.
Kin
So
folk.
that means when Joseph took that woman to wife, she was actually of the Hyksos people. That matter of fact, when it says that we left out of Egypt with a mixed multitude and we kept calling them Egyptians or whatever, those were the Hyksos people. They still practice bovine worship to this day. They still do it. They still do it. These were the same people that got our people to do bovine worship when Moshe was on the mount.
Yeah, but you gotta when you look at the video, they're saying they was Canaanites and they got them painted white.
Right now, the Hyksos were not Canaanites. They were definitely Shemites, and they were known as shepherd kings.
Yeah, those Shemites. And I had talked to brother Uriah the other day, and I told him about it. I said, no disrespect, you didn't tell the sister she made a lot of mistakes in the video, and I want her to go out like that. I don't know who told her that, but come on now. Ammon come from Moab. Ammon and Moab are brothers, not Ammon is a Canaanite. That don't make
The Amorites are Canaanites.
right, not Ammon. Deuteronomy 3:11. That's just off subtopic, but yeah, I really don't really care about that. Like I said, if the white people's all Canaanites, it really don't mean a hill of beans to me. According to the scriptures, they gonna get it, regardless of what they are. And I always say that, but some things, come on now.
Well, according to what we're saying, if they the Canaanites, they shouldn't. They should be few in number. Or they shouldn't be around.
Yeah, I think the Canaanites is destroyed. They was the so-called Native Americans. That's what I think. I could be wrong. But Native Americans not around either. The true Native Americans. I ain't talking about these fake ones right here. It's getting all that money.
The one with the casinos.
Casinos look white as snow. Man, you go to Cherokee, them suckers look so pale, it's unreal.
White India.
Cherokee is right up here, not about 2 hours from me, 3 hours from me. Man, them suckers pale as I don't know what, man. Getting all that. Like, what? Y'all call these the true people that was here? So you know what they doing. They getting money back into Edomite community. Crazy, man.
What's a $5 Indian?
Edomite.
Yeah, they paid $5 to get on the dog's roll.
And then I think they did. What's that, brother? They showing doing the blood and showing they wasn't true native.
Yeah. So a lot of them getting their blood traced and now finding out that they come from Asia and different places.
Yeah.
East Asia and all that.
Oh, they're the Moabites, according to the one dude. I don't know. I guess
there's no. Yeah, and that once again that makes no.
It wasn't nobody. Yeah, it wasn't nobody over here according to him.
Right. And when I hear that, it makes me laugh, man. Like, first of all, there's nothing in the scripture that said that Moab has slanted eyes or any of that crap. Secondly, Moab was the son of
that's Camp doctrine.
Right. Who happened to be a Shemite.
Yeah.
So of course he looked like all the other Shemites. So
no.
did Aaron.
He said the Shemites wasn't black. It was this guy. Wasn't all black.
Now, One thing I like to do is I like to look at the DNA. The DNA evidence tells us everything.
He don't believe in DNA.
Oh yeah, see, I do because
Yes, he do.
you ain't
When it
gonna
comes
tell
down
me
to his
you gonna put
kids.
somebody on child support with
Yeah,
DNA,
he
but
believes
you
it.
ain't gonna believe it.
Gotta go. I
He
tell
believes it.
I said, you have a kid come out looking like George Lopez. I bet you be asking for a blood test.
Big facts. Like, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? And like when you understand the history behind the coming of age of DNA genetics, you come to find out we invented it. So I don't know what everybody's so scared about. It's technology that we invented.
I tried
So
to, but he said a white man did. That's dude, you crazy.
yeah, he also believed that Thomas Edison invented all that stuff too.
Mhm.
And we know he didn't. But at the same time, between time, when you look at it, you're seeing that the Caucasians have Neanderthal DNA. Matter of fact, all non so-called Africans have a proportion of Neanderthal DNA. Now, the Asians have a different type of Neanderthal DNA than the Caucasians do. The Caucasians have what they call Neanderthal, and the Asians are what they call Denisovan or some crap like that, right? Denisovan or something like that. So they're coming from a different type of caveman. Now, this is all going back to what we would call in the Hebrew, right? A Horite. Horite literally means cave dweller, right? So when they trace the genetics of when so-called humans first mated with and begin to mix with these Horites, these cavemen, these Neanderthals, was in the Middle East, what they call the Middle East. Today we call it the Levant. That's Jordan, Israel, all of those areas over there. And how do we know that? It's because the Bible tells us they lived in the caves there.
Petra.
Yeah. And when you do research on Petra, you come to find out Petra is huge. And it's got cave networks that go all the way through that valley. And it's actually two different mountains. One is called Mount Seir, what they say in the Arabic, Mount Seir, and then the other one's called Mount Esau. So you got Mount Esau over there and Mount Seir. Mount Seir in Hebrew, Seir means shaggy or hairy. Right? And then Esau or Edom, Mount Edom means red, the red mountain. Remember in the Bible where it said Esau is Edom.
Right. It's in is that in Joshua where it says they came one nation? Joshua 90, I believe. Now this thing right here, when you look at the buildings that's in Petra, and look at the buildings in Rome, and look at the buildings now around the world, who is that structure? That's Esau. Look at the White House. Look how they all them pillars. They love that. Look at Rome, ancient Rome, and look at Petra. It's a pattern. Ain't nobody going around the world building. I mean, when you look at us, you got camp guys saying, "Oh, we build pyramids, dude. We didn't build no pyramid in Israel. Show us a pyramid. If we did build pyramids in Egypt, we was forced to, but that wasn't our thing." So
Man, that's not even in scripture. It said we built Pithom
Treasure
and
cities.
Ramses.
Yeah,
Treasure
Two
cities.
cities. Yeah.
Hey,
we built. Boy,
you know something interesting, man, about those pyramids? They said that to this day, you know how when they show us the pyramids, they show us the base of it, right?
Yeah.
But from the outside, but they're saying that they've gotten to the inside of it and you can go down, and they're saying they still haven't reached the bottom of it yet because they still keep finding chambers that go down and keep going down. So this Gentile, I was looking at this video he did, and he was saying, what if the pyramids are really obelisks that's been covered up due to sandstorms and things like that? Because when you go inside of it, they still haven't reached the bottom of them yet. How long have those pyramids been discovered, and the Egyptian government been using them as tourist attractions and all that? Or the people that's over there now, not Egyptian, but the government there now using it to make money, and they still haven't reached the bottom of it. So they saying that it's a possibility that we think it's a pyramid, but it's really an obelisk. But
So
I'm
interesting.
saying I never believed that the Israelites built the pyramids.
Matter of fact, it even say on the inside of the pyramid who built them. There's pictures of giants.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, one could even speculate that a lot of these monuments were actually already built. They were built during the first age.
Jesse Phillips, you can hear me eating this peach. Not chips, it was a peach. I may cut my meat on. But y'all ain't got too much. Y'all want to do the end. I'm ready to close this. Gotta go to bed. But it was good. We know this is gonna keep us out of the kingdom. These strange wives, according to Ezra, they got rid of them. Guess we have to do that, according to the scriptures.
Christ said, "Get rid of them." Well, he really didn't say it.
He trying to break up family. And what he said, he told Josiah he was trying to break up families when he pulled out that verse.
like I wrote it.
Yeah, I mean, he trying to break up families.
Trying to sever house. You trying to sever households.
Your hate against Mexicans is really powerful. Sonny said it.
It's a disgrace.
Because we said they're not our people, we hate them. And I'm like, what the world? It's crazy.
Right. Don't hate them. We just not the same. I mean, you get locked up, man. Heaven forbid that brother get locked up. He'll find out for real how much of a brother they is.
I pray you don't.
The Mexicans now. The Mexicans gonna act like he his brother and rapist. Then what's gonna happen?
They're gonna stab him.
Yeah, stab him, leave him dead, rape him, whatever.
I pray he never find that out, man. I pray he never.
I hope he don't go through that.
Because
don't find out who your brother is.
No. Now we not saying everybody like that, no, but come on, man. Just like not every white person hates your gut per se, but I ain't look. It's too much history behind it for me to just go around trusting everybody about everything.
At least say you got 10,000 snakes trying to get in your door, but 1,000 of them ain't gonna bite you. And you think I'm gonna go out and figure out the 1,000? Man, come on.
Yeah, right.
And what's that Debo and Baruch? They talk about the nations known us. I think every nation alive right now known us.
Yep.
Look, I think that dude might go to jail, come out Muslim.
Mm-hmm. Mexican hold to him, he might come out something else.
I'm just saying, like, out here in this world and for real, in real life, I only think this is why I love the scripture so much when it talks about let every man work out his own salvation with fear and trembling. You feel me? Because although I got love for Israel, you know, I got love for my people, I got love for y'all. Now none of y'all gonna keep me for what the Most High got. I'll walk right over you. I'll step right over you and keep it pushing. Why? Because I'm sorry, I'm not gonna deviate from the plan. My walk is my walk. I pray that everybody has that same focus. We're supposed to care for each other, but not to the detriment of your own walk.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not gonna take and lift up another nation that's not, you cannot prove in the scriptures it's not my people, number one. I'm not gonna do that. I asked them to prove in the scriptures. Has no verse. Not a Nathaniel, nothing. I'm like, well, if you can't do that, why would you stand up for people you can't prove this your people? Oh, they went to a country that never man dwelt. Man, get out of here.
You mean tell me y'all don't want any baby back ribs with me?
Right.
Are they beef?
The baby backs, man.
Yeah.
No,
Jesus,
I'm
This is
just
the crazy stuff that we got to deal with, Zion. And this is why I always say, hey, it's cool that we congregate, we get together, we try to get the edification going, but don't be beguiled by those snakes in the grass that's waiting to get you,
Yeah.
waiting to capitalize on your misunderstanding.
Yeah, you're not in the faith if you got a strange woman. It's just that simple.
Jason Phillip, I'm gonna hold you to that. Look what he said.
Wait, son.
He said, if I win the lottery, every true Israelite getting $2 billion.
he was trying to win that by 800 million.
I think it's billion now. Ain't it?
Yep.
Hey, go for it, man. Well, since you put that out there, I match it. If I win, you get.
All I need is a couple of turkey sandwiches.
Just give me a million. Give me $1 million a boat. I'm gone.
You want the gold or the diamond encrusted turkey?
I don't want nothing but I want to make it while I'm going.
He said you want 2 turkey sandwiches.
2 turkey sandwiches.
Well, please.
Sandwiches.
It's that bro man style, boy.
No, sandwiches. What do you think about sandwiches?
I can tell you work a lot.
What about Ruth?
Yeah.
What about her?
What about Ruth?
What about Ruth? Do a live call.
What about?
I thought you said Mexican. What about Ruth? I thought you said Mexicans. Hey, you'll be the DJ, Eric.
Hey, you know what? I asked him to come back on. He said, I'm not coming back on that because y'all gonna laugh at me.
Man, look,
I don't laugh at you. He said, no, I'm not doing that. And what he said?
I'm still laughing at them credentials.
Yeah, he said, look, he said, I got he said, break it down. My first guy talked to him, he said, break it down. What you been to school? I was like, I don't brag on that because it don't mean nothing because we know that schooling teach you far from the truth. I said, but if you want to know, I got, social criminal justice, minor in psychology. I ain't talking about the CDL and all that. He was like, oh, okay. I got a high school diploma and a barber's license. I can play 5 instruments. Crazy. Heck? There's something wrong with this. I don't know. I wouldn't dare say no stuff like that. I thought
anything you can do, I can do better mentality, man.
I told him I thought he was gonna tell me that, he got a master in
the man called Kadar Creek because he a private. He called Kadar Creek.
He called me a creek. I told him I was going to expose him. I said today, you notice he got quiet. He didn't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
What's that, man?
But people got their own. They fighting their own demons right now, and it's hard when it's sitting there looking you in the face. But
I know.
no matter how hard you fight, the word is like stone. That's why he wrote the law in stone, because it don't change. The Most High said, I don't change.
He keeps saying we need to go to the white establishment school. I have to do something wrong with you.
Listen, wife is a heathen, kid is a bastard.
Say what?
Wife is a kid. Wife is a heathen. Kid is a bastard.
No, that's why he fights so hard about Deuteronomy 23.
He want you to read
it. He said a bastard. When it says a bastard, it's talking about Ammon and Moabite. I said, dude, there's something wrong with you. Ain't nobody. I said when it says a bastard can enter the congregation, it's not talking about Ammon and the Moabite. Ammon and Moabite can enter because they not meet us with bread and water. It tells you that in the scripture in verse 3. He said, no, it's in verse 2. I said, well, when it's verse 1, it says, if your arm chopped off, you can't come in the congregation. So is that Ammon and the Moabites? That dude crazy, man.
Then said we don't know how to read.
Yeah. But you know, this is what a lot of us out of the kingdom. Stuff like that stupid because you vouching for somebody else, man. Come on. You better hope they make it to the outside of that gate. Outside that gate in the temple in Revelation 11, it said, leave it to the Gentiles. You better hope they make it right there.
You talking about the courtyard, the outer courtyard.
Yeah, that's what you better be aiming for.
Yeah, the outer courtyard. A lot of people are like, no, that's the inner. No. The outer courtyard.
Yeah, that's what you need to be aiming for, y'all. And that's what. But these dummies don't want to do that. They want to make it like.
They gotta acknowledge Israel first.
Yeah.
You can't even make it to the outer.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
You are who your father is. What is that?
Well, I mean, according to the scriptures, it's real crystal clear on that. Where it says, I shall make them come and worship at thine feet.
Man.
You know me? Now, I'm not one of those camp members out there that believe in that foolishness, how they had them folks out there kissing their feet.
Record a conversation, y'all would die laughing.
That man repped the camp so hard, man.
He told me, he said, Deacon won't debate me because what did he say? I said, Deacon run from me. He ain't gonna debate you because you talk stupid, he said. I said, man, I got Deacon's number. He said, that second ain't gonna. I said, last time I talked to him, he put some Mexican on the phone. I said, Deacon ain't gonna debate that because he know he can't prove it. And you can't neither. He proved it because they walked through the Atlantic Ocean. What did he say?
Bro, I can't debate no nigga who literally sit next to an Edomite who claiming to be a high priest. Man, if you don't get your flawed ass out of here, first acknowledge that, then we can maybe talk about a debate.
That's cool. Look at the niggas around him.
Facts.
Gorilla Hebrew got tore up by that white man.
Man, stop calling him that. That boy he ain't no Hebrew.
Well, gorilla.
Or gorilla.
Gorilla he got tore up by white man.
I ain't got nothing about gorilla.
Hey, white man said, how can you be a Levite priesthood if your mama white? Now, a lot of people miss that statement. He's saying we the Israelites. He said your mama white. That's what he said. He was saying.
Here's the thing that I harp on is we know Israel is E1B1A. Correct. Right. We all agree on that, correct? Then why is he like RH negative or some crap like that? You know that R gene goes back to the Caucasus Mountains.
I don't think it's dead at all. Black.
It's because the Israelite in him is negative.
Right. He don't have no E1B1A. It don't even pop up. He's in the R category, which comes right out of the Caucasus Mountains. Europe.
Who in the world exposes
different shades of Neanderthal, huh? People say it's different shades of
big fact. So I'm sitting there laughing at this dude because he exposed his own genetics.
Different shades of white.
Cliff said
Jacob, what you say, Eric?
Jacob was black. All his wives and girlfriends were black. But Judah came out black and Ezra came out looking like Jewish Lopez. I said, man, come on, do that.
But Benjamin, the youngest of them all, came out black. And Joseph and Benjamin had the same mama. Issachar and Judah had the same mama.
Yeah.
Five with the same mother and father.
Yeah.
And plus Dina, don't forget Dina, because that was Judah and them little sisters.
Mm-hmm.
From the same woman, Leah.
Yeah, I know agenda. He sat there and told the truth on that. And he said, we produce everybody. I said, man, shut up.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, we produce everybody.
So where's my Mexican?
Don't mean Mexican. Crazy.
Where's my Mexican?
Yo, if that's the case, then how is there still a remnant of Negro walking around today? If we produce everything, we would have been produced ourselves out of existence.
Yeah, that dude's stupid, man.
That's dumb. That don't make no sense.
That mean we really oppressing ourselves then.
Right. See, this is what happened when you learn at the new captain. Some confused ass dude, first of all, calls himself a gorilla.
And Josiah, look at that.
Yeah, see.
You said Mexican. But you're right. He called himself a gorilla.
Now we said roof.
What about Ruth?
You call yourself a gorilla, and then you got the nerve to go around and talk about you a Hebrew. Your DNA says that's a lie. If we was on the Murray show, yeah, that's what you be hearing. Israel is not the father, okay, of you. Let's just get this correct. So you come from a R string, and this is on your daddy's side. You try to play it off like, oh, see, he came from Haiti and then went up by way of New Orleans and Louisiana and so on and so forth. I'm like, yo, the only record of that is when they had the Haitian Rebellion and the mulattoes, who are the sons of the white Frenchman plantation owners, they left and they went up to New Orleans. They became known as coon asses, or what do you call them, Creole,
Yeah.
And that's where you get them cats. So you can't claim that. And you definitely can't claim that was the tribe of Levi, because for one, scripture's real clear who was sold to the Grecians. It was Judah and Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So it might be a small taste of us around there, but ain't nobody gonna know who's Levi and who's not. Why? Because we're all family. Levi and Judah are the same people. They have the same genetic makeup. They're gonna have the same everything. Why? Because they have the same mama and daddy.
He said you can't go by that, but he do every day. Then they try to tell me, y'all listen to this, right? My major criticism is this: I don't know everything. I'm not perfect, but I do know a lot. Now, I didn't get into this real Josiah. He said he don't trust blood work because you can't trace your blood back 1,000 years, right? Now, he sat there and put his foot in his mouth. I got to talk to him again. If he let me talk, he'd be just running his mouth. So you mean tell me I can't pull out a bone 5,000 years ago, mummy, that's in Egypt, and if I want to have stem cell surgery, they going to use that. So I asked him, can you take the stem cell, right, and be able to get the DNA off? Yes. And this dummy gonna sit there and say, you can't do that. What the heck? This guy's crazy, man.
One of a kind.
One of a kind. I said, so you mean tell me you trust your 4th generation granddaddy? That's easy to find, right? I can go probably get mine up. If I had to do it, easy to find. His name was Burl. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
I can go back 4 too.
Burl Scales, right? So I can go back 4 and search my generation, right, through him and see if I match that. He gonna try to tell me you can't do that. What the heck? Go dig up his grave, get his hair sample or a bone sample out for him. You can do that. And this dude said he don't believe that. I said, well, somebody, you have a Chinese baby then, or one look like Ezra, you better not test DNA.
Hey. Some people just don't want to believe fat meat is greasy. That's all that is.
He set himself up for failure because he ain't gonna test the DNA if one of his kids come out looking like George Lopez. Boy, I would love to be. I'd be like flying the wall. I'd be like, no testing DNA. No testing DNA.
A lot of people are scared to find out the truth.
Oh yeah. That's the truth of it. They scared to find out because there's a lot of black folks, they be scared. Well, what if I ain't? Well, what if you are?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? All it takes is for a little bit of time. Just go ahead and do that. Get it knocked out. Find out for sure. That way you ain't got the question. It is what it is.
He don't believe in DNA. Unless it work. But all the autosomal DNA and blood work is one thing. Dude, stupid. But anyway, y'all, my last word, shalom, peace, everybody. It was good. We know that married outside of Israel can get you kicked out of the wilderness. We know it can even keep you from getting your inheritance. We read that too, where we heard read out in Ezra chapter 10. So please, Israelites, don't do that. If you're in a relationship, I pray that you pray to the Most High. Just read the scripture and see that's not in Israel. But I know it's hard out here. But one thing I would say, I love Israelite women, and that's all. You remember that guy they show on that guy? I know you've seen this, Eric, on what's the name channel? He said, I love women. I don't love men no more. I love women. But have y'all seen that?
Yeah, I seen that.
I know what you're talking about.
Light-skinned dude at church.
Yeah.
Jumped up. Yeah.
I said, I don't love men no more. I love women.
Like nobody in that church believe that.
Yeah. Can't believe it.
Shalom, bless you. Y'all got some last words. Go ahead. I'm going on mute.
No, I'm gonna just say shalom, man, to all you brothers on the panel. Always a blessing, fellowship. Shalom to everybody in the chat. All I can say, man, is to just start loving one another. Let's start respecting one another, and let's start having a desire for our own. And it don't have to be necessarily between men and women. Like the brothers, man, let's start having respect and love for one another as well. Let's start it there and let that transition, you know what I'm saying, into us being what we supposed to be, because the Most High trying to build a nation, and we can only be a nation if we on one accord. So with that in mind, I'm gonna say shalom, trueebry.com. Go check it out.
Shalom. I'm gonna
Shalom,
say
shalom.
shalom to the brothers on the panel, and shalom to everybody in the comments. Yeah, I'm on here representing for the Negroes only. The Negro only. Check us out. Right now we're
That's a
being
doctrine.
shadow banned. Huh? That's a doctrine. This guy.
Yeah.
We're
Negro only
being
doctrine.
shadow banned right now. So if y'all want to check out any new videos, make sure you hit the notification button so you can be alerted. And I'll leave y'all with Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Here's the conclusion of the entire matter. Fear Yahuwah and guard his commands, for this is the duty of all men. I say shalom.
I said shalom. Stay strong, Israel.
Shalom. Yeah, I forgot to mention Ebry beginning channel and Negroes only. And y'all's Negroes only 2 or 1. The Negroes only also. And so,
Yeah, the Negro only sword and spear. That's where we're going over scriptures. Me and my brother Joseph Ben Douglas. We over there going through all the scripts.
Still got that channel, Negroes only 2, right? Same one.
Negro only sword and spear.
No, I said also the other one, Negro only. Right?
Oh yeah, the other one is called Blood of Shem.
Okay.
So if y'all wanting to check out any videos, it's a mirror channel. So just go over there and hit that like, share, and subscribe. Get that notification. You can also get the same videos that you get at the Negro only.
Make sure you
main channel.
Check that site, Brother Eric got some good stuff on there. I have people approaching me all the time. I be working, I had a hat on. They be like, "Oh, what do you know about Israel?" I be like, "What you mean?" I mean, so do starts conversation. Actually, it's only white people that approach me with that. Not one black person yet approached me and said nothing about the hat, and it's crazy because you seem like they would, but now it's only white people, and they give me a chance to show them, tell them we are the true Israelites of the Bible. So go on that line, and what's the name of that line again, Brother? TrueEvery.com. Brother, I think it's TrueEvery.com. But shalom, peace, and glory.